Hey everyone, this is your girl Sonia, and I am super excited to be with you guys for the That's Rare podcast first solo episode. So guys, I'm gonna be really honest with you. I did not know how to kick off a solo episode. I know that sounds weird, right? Because I talk all the time to you guys online, on Instagram, and I was like, this is so cumbersome to create a whole solo episode. But this episode is inspired by my community. So last night I was talking to the SLD tribe. Shout out to you guys. Type SLD in the comments. You know how we do. And I was talking about how it's very important, particularly as a woman, to have some FU money. So today's topic is, how do you get some FU money? Now, it's not like what you're probably thinking, or maybe it is. But what I realized that in this day and time, in these economic times, you must have some FU money. Let's get into it. So with all the things that's been happening in the last few years, we've experienced a pandemic, y'all. We lived through a pandemic. If you did not have some FU money, you were up a creek. Meaning there may have been a job that required you to do something really strange, really weird, something you weren't comfortable with. Some of you said, Sonia, I did not want to get the vaccination. That's your business, right? And when those moments happen, you have to be able to say, you know what, F this, I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to go get another job. I'm going to leave this job. If I leave this job, I'll be good until I get another job. I'll be good for 6 months, right? So here's the reality of the situation. A lot of people do not have FU money. And what I had to realize is that FU money is something that you have to prepare and to plan for. So let's talk about that. If you are being paid, let's say bi-weekly, semi-monthly, it is your responsibility to take some money aside. And it may not be a lot. And I'll let you use your discretion on the amount. Put some money aside and name the savings account FU. So if there's ever a situation you're in, if there's something you're uncomfortable about, you can get out of it and not put yourself in debt, or simply just cannot move forward and get out. Does that make sense? So here's a good example. Let's say, ladies, you are living with someone, and I hope that you are watching this podcast by yourself, right? Because that person could be right next to you. I don't know. And let's say you are living with someone. You're like, I do not want to be here anymore. And you are stuck and bound in a relationship that is no longer serving you. Well, baby, that's where some FU money come in. That's when you say, you know what, I don't got to live like this. And I personally, anytime I am working through some things that just are not good for me, right? It's unsettling. I have to say, baby, you don't got to live like this. I always say to myself, girl, you don't got to live like that. And now, in order for me to keep saying to myself, you don't got to live like that, I got to be able to live like that, right? Does that make sense? I got to be able to say, what's in that account? And I can get myself out of the equation. Now, what's really important is, I think that you guys have to know what to plan and prepare for. I mean, and the thing is, everyone watching this, you should be thinking to yourselves, how do I assess what I'm going to need some FU money for in the future? Well, some of you know, let's just keep it real. We cousins, right? Just keep it real. You might be in a relationship that does not serve you, right? All right, cool. So that could be the equivalent of some FU money. You may need that. Some of you may say, well, you know what? I'm at a job that's really just not going anywhere. I don't like what's happening with my job. That is what we would call and consider some FU money as well, because you may want to pull up out of that job. And then some of you just have other situations that I probably can't identify. I'm not in it. I can't relate. But I will tell you that you know what it is, like inside, deep inside, you can identify what FU money is and what it looks like. All right, here's the reality. I don't want you to be radical and just say FU to any and everything. But what I do want you to do in this season is say to yourselves, listen, I got to make some changes. I don't like this and this about my life. And this is what I'm going to do about it. And if you needed to be radical, you could be. But I'm going to be really transparent with you. When I was creating my business and before the student loan doctor, I used to have those feelings, those thoughts, those moments. And I was like, I don't ever want to be in this position again. And so in order for me to not be in this position, I got to do X, Y, and Z to plan, prepare, and to prep. Does that make sense, guys? So hopefully this conversation is going to spark in you an opportunity for you to just have a little self-reflection. So I would dare say, grab a journal, grab a notebook, and write down some things that you need to prepare for, to say FU to in 2023. You might be watching this and be like, girl, you're right. I don't want to live with that man. I don't even like him like that. I know that's your business. All right, write that down. That's a part of your FU list. Some of you like, I don't even like this job, or I don't like this second job, or I don't like that I need a second job, or what do I need to do? Write that down. Prepare, plan. Then some of you may be thinking, I haven't been able to take a vacation. I don't get a chance to travel. I don't go anywhere. F that too. Write that down. How do we change the narrative of your life? Any moment you can make a decision to change the things that are happening in your life, right? And that's what you got to decide. All right, so that's something to think about. Now, just a side note here, just a quick side note. I must stress this part. I was getting to this conversation yesterday with the community. I said, in this season, we are not going to be having any pity parties. We are not going to be sitting in anything for too long. And I don't know who needs this message today on Freedom Friday, but let me break it down to you and say this to you. You have to put yourselves in a position to win. There is no such thing as a bad day. And in my world, there's really no such thing as a bad hour. I will have a bad moment. I will have a 5 to 10 minute situation to where I will say, you know what, this really hurt my feelings, or I really don't like, but am I allowed to live in it? Am I allowed to stay in it? No. I have to move forward. And a lot of you have to choose and make a decision to move from being stuck. Now, you're probably thinking, like, what does this got to do with FU money? See, a lot of that comes around the decisions that you're making, the thoughts that you're having. And the reality is those that are successful, those that are able to propel forward, those are the people that just choose not to live in it, to not live in the thick of it. So what I've decided in my life, how it goes is, because something drastic could happen, I'm like, oh, I have a pity party. 5 minutes. And sometimes, I know this sounds really radical, you got to set your timer for 5 minutes. Now, I will say 5 minutes is a skill. 5 minutes is an art. It used to take me about 30. I've got it down to 5. But I know you're not about to sit here and tell me you're okay with giving away a whole day. I know you're not going to say that. So now you have to say to yourself, if I give something away, I give something, my power away for a whole day, that's just too much. Anybody agree with me, right? Just put in the comments. And let me tell you how we about to start treating these YouTube comments, because y'all are a little too quiet on these episode comments. I am used to feedback. Put in the comments what you think about what I'm saying. Like, have you ever given something an entire day, a week, a month to keep you in a certain negative place? That is today. Hello, somebody. You've got to decide that I am giving it no more than 5 minutes. Now, if you need a 30-minute situation, I'll keep it in prayer. Go and take your 30. But we are really not going to be living in it for too much longer. The thing is, it affects your ability to create new ideas, to bring in new monies, to live your happy, best lives. Does it make sense? Again, what does it have to do with FU money? Because a lot of times, you're in those situations for too long, mentally, physically, because you don't have no FU money. See, a lot of times, some FU money can buy you out of situations you didn't even want to be placed in or don't want to be in any longer. See how I got to go back? So why we got to get this FU? So I'm going to challenge you. This season, we ain't talking about bags. We ain't talking about purses. We're not talking about trips. We talking about how do you formulate some FU money. All right, guys, I am really, really excited. This is a very quick and short solo episode. I really just wanted to get this content out to you guys because it sparked. I couldn't sleep. I'm like, when I was chatting on Zoom, I'm like, there is not enough FU money I could tell in this space. There's not enough agreements on it. Where are the people that are agreeing that they got the FU money ready? And I remember being one of those people. And I tell you, every day I work and I grind really hard because I do not like feeling stuck. I do not like feeling pigeonholed. I do not like feeling at all like I can't make a move. And if you're anything like me, which I know you are, because that's why you're here, hello somebody, you are probably feeling the same way. So I invite you to join my FU club. There's no membership fee required. All you got to do is start planning and preparing. And there's going to be a moment when you remember this conversation. You're going to say, you know what, that girl was on to something. I don't want to be in this situation. I don't like how Ray be. I don't know what your situation is, right? But I know that you have the ability to change it. If you're following me, you're rocking with me, you have the ability to change your mind at any moment, at any given day. And again, what does this have to do with its entrepreneurship? But I'm going to tell you something right now. As a woman in business, I had to prepare and make sacrifices. And there's no one coming to save you is what I realized when I started this business. I decided to start it Or I could have just simply stayed at work. But because I dare to have a dream, because I wanted to do more and do bigger and have a big impact, I said, but you got to prepare. You got to be your own superhero if need be, right? And that's where the FU money comes in. So put in the comments of the show, guys, what you think about having your own FU money. Tell me what you're going to start to save and get your FU money ready for. Tell me what you already got your FU money ready for. Some of you are already ahead of the curve, honey. I do not sleep on my community. And please do me a favor, share this video out. It's short. They can listen to it while they're driving in the gym, at the supermarket. And I just want to spark the conversation in someone so that they can have some FU money ready. Like, that's what this season is about. If you needed to change, pivot, plan, and prepare, would you be able to do it? So as always, with love, I am excited that you guys are here. Thank you for tuning in and subscribing to the That's Where podcast. We have another episode coming out next Friday. We got more hot and fire, good interviews. I'm putting the best of the best in front of you. And I'm hoping that you guys take an opportunity to sit and listen to these interviews and really take some gems away so that you can become your best selves. All right, guys, do me a favor. Comment, like, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at That's Where Podcast. And this episode has been brought to you by the Student Loan Doctor, the best place in the entire universe to learn about your student loan debt, how to eradicate your student loan debt, and it is owned by one of the best people in the world, me. Yes, darling. Check the show notes for information on how to work with us here at the Student Loan Doctor. Baby, at the time of this recording, it was said that student loans are going into repayment as of September 2023. So I hope you are prepared. I hope you have a plan. And if you don't, we've got a lot of resources to help you get started. All right. So we look forward to connecting and chatting with you guys very soon. We will see you on the next episode of the That's Where podcast.